the Cleveland Browns. Now, you look at that number, 8.5. I mean, it's a Browns team that won double digits last year. 8.5 over is minus 135. Under 8.5 wins, plus 115. Let's see if anybody will take the plus money. Let's start things out here. Charles, what do you like? Browns over or under 8.5 wins?
Yeah, 11-6 last season, so I'm going over 8.5. I think 9-8 would be appropriate. Just their out of division schedule, it sets up well for them. Once again, that they get that NFC East and AFC West, so Cowboys, Giants, Jags, Commanders, Raiders, Chargers, Saints, and maybe if they split with the Steelers and then Broncos, and that's not even including maybe they split with the Bengals and Ravens as well. So I think this team can get to 9 wins, and then for my prop. I'm going in David Njoku over 5.5 receiving touchdowns. He had 6 last season. I expect him to be a even bigger target as well this season as well. Big body down around the end zone. So give me David Njoku over 5.5 receiving touchdowns as far as the player prop.
So the Browns number, again, it looks low. 8.5 wins. We got one over there from Charles. Raphael, you like the over as well.
Yeah, I'm eating the chalk at minus 135 because you guys said 11 wins last year, and that was with no quarterbacks pretty much. A guy that was collecting his Social Security and playing quarterback at the end of the season. Yes, I know Watson has question marks, but I think Jameis Winston could be a big key on here because he can come in and maybe win you some games. They play the NFC East. I mean, that's not a tough division. We have no idea what the Cowboys are going to be, Eagles, Giants, all that. I just like the way the schedule goes. Again, 11 wins, and I'm really, really high on this defense. It was phenomenal last year. They're going to be phenomenal again this year. So I'm taking the over at minus 135, 8.5. And my prop is just what I said. The defense, over 48.5 sacks all season long. Last year, they had, 47 or 48 sacks last year. I'm going to go over on this one. I know that they haven't cashed this one 3 straight years, a lot of unders, but this defense is going to be phenomenal. I think Myles Garrett has a better year this year than he did last year. So I'm going to go the over and team sacks just because defense is going to win games. Defense is going to put them in the playoffs again.
All right, so there you go. We got a couple of overs already. Can we make it 3 for 3, AB? Let's hear it.
Definitely going over here with the Browns. They're going to be a good football team. And I think Deshaun Watson has finally reached a point where he's just saying, all right, look, I really don't care what the media is saying. Like, screw off. And I don't blame him. Like, just get over it, all right? Deal with it, whatever. I think that Deshaun Watson's going to come out pissed off this year and play good football and look like Deshaun Watson is supposed to look. He's taken the lumps. He's done all of that, right? Like, I think that it's time for him to step up. Nick Chubb, if he's healthy throughout the year, they've got one hell of a running attack, and they've got a great defense. So if you give me 8.5 wins, I'll take the over on that.
And what about a future?
Deshaun Watson, I'm also going to take him over interceptions because I think that he is going to be pressing in games. I think they're going to play tight games. You know how the AFC North is, especially when they're playing against each other. Point distribution totals go down when they're playing against each other because the Browns have defense. All right. The Bengals have somewhat of a defense. We know the Steelers have a defense. We know the Ravens have a defense, right? So when you're going up against all of those teams twice in a season, yeah, he's going to put up some picks, even when it's not really, egregious type plays. They just get hands up. Balls get tipped, man. Picks come. So, yeah, give me over 9.5. I'll take it there.
So all three of you guys over 8.5 wins for the Browns. I will be the lone dissenting vote. I'm going under 8.5 wins for the Browns, plus money, plus 115. I feel like it's one of those deals where you look at the number. Why is this number so low? You know what? Vegas usually knows. There's a reason. There's a reason it's low. I'm going under 8.5. And my main reason is, I don't know if you guys have seen Deshaun Watson. He's terrible. He's terrible. It's been years, literally years, since he has been an above average quarterback. And granted, years ago, when he was an above average quarterback, he was an elite quarterback. I mean, Houston, one of the best offenses. They're going to the playoffs. They're winning playoff games. He was terrific. He's the opposite now. He's terrible. I know there's a way that you could look at the Browns and you could say, hey, Joe Flacco's corpse led them to 11 wins last year. They called him. He was sitting on his couch in his underwear eating a bag of Cheetos, and they brought him aboard, and they made the playoffs. Yeah, they got better quarterback play from Joe Flacco last year than they were getting from Deshaun Watson. So just the fact that it's Watson this year, that doesn't make me feel better about the Browns improving upon last year. Like I said, probably the toughest division in all of football, that AFC North. I'm going under 8.5 wins. If you like the Ravens over, if you like the Bengals, which I do, the Steelers, hey, Tomlin's never had an under 500 season. Somebody has to lose games in that division. I think it's the Cleveland Browns. I'm going under 8.5 wins. And obviously, if I'm looking at a prop here, I'm sticking with Deshaun Watson. I don't know if you heard me say it moments ago. He's terrible. I'm going under 3,300 and a half. It's a mouthful. 3,300 and a half passing yards on the season, minus 120. I mean, does that mean Watson doesn't play the whole year because he gets hurt like usual? Does it mean that Jameis Winston steps in at one moment? I don't know. But I do know that Watson is going to continue to be a below average quarterback. It's maybe the worst contract, not in the NFL. We know that, in all of sports. So I'm going to Deshaun Watson under 3,300 and a half passing yards on the season at minus 120. So there you have it. For the Ravens, we had 3 out of 4 over 10 and a half. For the Browns, 3 out of 4 over 8.5 wins on the season. Excellent job, everybody. And now, of course, you have your 2 teams for the day. Continue marching along throughout the week, giving you 2 teams every day. We'll give you the win totals and futures leading up to the start of the NFL season here on Driving the Line. All right.